haven't seen you in forever.
I know, it's been a while.
Yeah,
let's
we're
take
like
these
6
off.
feet apart, right? Okay. So, hey, so I see you got some new books. I got some books too.
Yeah.
What you got there? You wanna start us out on? This is the Barb and Sherry show, by the way.
The Barb and Sherry show.
We dance sometimes.
Sometimes.
Definitely sing all the time. Okay.
Yeah.
So, fun at your library. Go ahead. Let's see what you got.
I'll introduce my first one. This is a brand new nonfiction book. And amidst the constant rain of German bombs and the escalating violence of World War II, British parents by the thousands chose to send their children out of the country. The wealthy did it independently, but the poor did it through a government relocation program called CORD. And in September of 1940, the passenger liner SS City of Benares set sail for Canada with 100 children on board. And when the warships escorting the Benares departed, a German submarine torpedoed what became known as the Children's Ship. And out of tragedy, ordinary people became heroes, and this is their story. The title is Torpedoed, the True Story of the World War II Sinking of the Children's Ship. And it's a very little covered historical event, and it's one that I think deserves to be highlighted.
I hadn't heard of it. Yeah, and you're reading that, I'm getting chills here.
Yeah.
It's like, that sounds like an awesome story.
Yeah. True to life.
Yeah. So is it kind of like an I Survived, but
I would think so. You know, if you like the I Survived series,
not as short, obviously.
not as short. It's a little thicker read, but an interesting story nonetheless. The second book that I want to highlight is Monsters Trucks, and it really reminds me of the monster at the end of this book with Lovell Frill Grover, because the monster is blue. Monster loves his construction vehicles. They help him dig deep trenches, push dirt and rocks, and carry all kinds of materials around his construction site. But there's one catch. Monster does not like sharing his trucks. No one can touch his bulldozer, forklift, or crane. So, what happens when the reader does exactly what Monster has said not to do? Like, don't push that button? No, we're going to push the button. He's in for a wild and hilarious ride, getting scooped and raised and dumped all over the place. Thankfully, the end result, after pushing levers, buttons, and gears galore, is a surprise that's good fun for everyone, and especially for Monster.
That sounds cute.
And then one last one. This is a brand new easy reader. This is part of a series called the Jack Books.
And the easy readers, those are the ones that if you're just learning to read.
If you're just learning to read, they have a controlled vocabulary. They have words that repeat over and over again, so the kids get used to seeing what the words look like, and it becomes easy for them to then recognize the words.
Right,
in reading.
okay, awesome.
This series involves a rabbit who's very mischievous, a cranky old lady, and a lovable dog. When the lady is mad at Jack, who is the rabbit, get it, Jack Rabbit, she decides to send him and Rex, who's the dog, on a one-way trip to outer space. While she enjoys some rare peace and quiet, Jack and Rex get into trouble, resulting in their getting kicked to the exile of the dark side of the moon. And after an alien chase and some snacks, Jack and Rex get blasted home to Earth because the aliens are sick and tired of their mischievous shenanigans up there. But will the lady take Naughty Jack back? And this is, like I said, a brand new series of Hijack books, or the Jack books, in our easy reader section.
Cool. So if they like it, then they'll be able to get more.
Yep, there are other ones. Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
Just put a ton of juvenile fiction books out.
Goodness. Well, good. I have the same sort of thing. I have new books that come in all the time, and then, but at the same time, right now, a lot of them are out. So when I was looking for books to review, new books to review, and so I have a juvenile book. This is a juvenile book, and it's called Wink. It's by Rob Carroll.
So good.
Well, that's what I was going to tell you.
So good.
Barbara recommended this one to me. She read it, I read it, and yeah, we read juvenile fiction and easy fiction and young adult fiction, and we'll read adult stuff too. But yeah, not because it's our job, but because they're good. They're good stories. Okay, so let's talk about Wink a little bit. If you look at the cover, Wink kind of reminds you of Wonder, and if you like Wonder, then this is a similar type of book in terms of Wonder. But at the same time, I'm also going to tell you that this one is fun. It has some lighthearted moments. or quite a few lighthearted moments,
Mhm.
because, and in that sense, it kind of reminds me of Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
I feel exactly the same way.
So if you like
just
Diary of a
exactly
Wimpy Kid, you like Wonder, definitely.
Yep.
You could pick up this book. Now, I'll tell you about this author here. He also wrote, if you want to know whether it's funny or not, he also wrote Life of Zarf, a series called The Life of Zarf, okay? And he does a lot of comics in it, and he does some writings in here and some comics. The protagonist is Ross. Okay, and Ross has a best friend, Abby. He used to have a best friend, Isaac, but once Isaac found out that he had this rare form of eye cancer, Isaac kind of got freaked out and didn't want to hang with them guys anymore. Not because he thought it was contagious, just because he kind of freaked out over the whole. It just scared him, and he didn't know what to do. So Ross is dealing with a lot. He's a 7th grader. You know, he was just kind of like, I'm in the middle years of the middle school year, you know, we're going to just swing on by there and become an 8th grader. And then he finds out he's got this rare form of eye cancer. It's only in one eye, and of course it says wig because he keeps that eye closed most of the time. He ends up having to put goop on his hair starts falling out. He has to wear this hat. So, you know, middle school, you know what it's like. Anything that's different or weird. And so he's terrified every time something different or weird he comes in. How are the other kids going to react? And, you know, they could be bullying him, they could be doing, you know, making jokes or this or that, but one of the other things that sometimes they do is they are giving him pity stuff. Are you okay? He gets so tired of people saying, are you okay? So, are you okay? And it's like, you know, can I just be normal again? But a lot of fun moments too. He covers the subject in a lighthearted manner and a realistic manner, and I'm going to tell you realistic because the author, a lot of these experiences are from him. He had a rare form of eye cancer. He can tell you, and so he describes in detail how, you know, what it felt like to be, you know, brought down and taped down to the table where they take you for this radiation treatment, and they're going to zap your eye.
And I did not realize that till the end of the book because he actually talks about that at the end of the book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
So I was fascinated with it, but very, very well done. Loved the story. That was good. Thank you very much for that recommendation.
Not a problem.
And now I'm going to go to, and then I didn't put my glasses on at all, so I was having trouble reading things. Okay, I'm going to give you a manga here. This is Comey Can't Communicate. Okay, and if you read or watched the anime for A Silent Voice, this is similar in a sense in terms of story and how it works. Okay, as a silent voice. So what we have here is Comey. Okay, I'm going to put that up there and put my glasses back on. And Comey is known as the Ice Queen. She's very pretty. She's very popular. She's stoic and so everybody just thinks she's like princess of the middle school, high school, excuse me. And then we have Tadano. Tadano is, he kind of is average, and he likes it that way. Don't notice me. I'm just going to kind of breeze through without anybody noticing anything. And on the first day of class, he ends up getting stuck in a classroom with Comey. He's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And he realizes that Comey isn't cool and reserved. She has social anxiety, and she's terrified of speaking. She has no idea how to talk to other people. And so she's covered this up all these years by just, you know, making faces, you know, she's stuck. And they're like, oh man, she's so cool. Well, she's not cool. I mean, she's still a cool person, but it's not because of that. It's because she's terrified of speaking. And Tadano figures this out. And she really does want to communicate, so they end up communicating on the blackboard with one another. And what she wanted to do, she wants to make 100 friends, and so Tadano has decided that that's what he's going to do, is that he's going to help her get 100 friends. Now, other than, A Silent Voice was really good, I really liked it. It did have more of a somber side. It's not tear-jerk. It has some tears, but it really is a good story, and it's not a sad ending. She's going. I had somebody ask me that. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to cry at the end. You're not going to do that. It had a lot of fun in it. This one is funny, though. It's not as somber. Yeah, sure, we have a little bit of social. One of the things is both of these books don't judge people by their covers either.
Right.
And both of them speak to that of, there are characters in there where it's like, oh, he's this, this, and this, and then the other one you think is wonderful isn't. So, like this one here, don't judge people by that. Get to know them. All right, so let's see what I'm going to do here. My last one here is 28 Days, a novel of the resistance in the Warsaw Ghetto. So it's got a counterweight to your nonfiction. This is fiction, but it's a historical fiction. Okay, it's 1942, and I was going to turn it this way. I don't have to look at it. And the protagonist is Mira. She's 17 years old, and she's a Polish Jew, and she lives in the Warsaw Ghetto because that's where they put them all, and it was across the wall.
Right.
So that's where they're put. Okay, and they don't have enough food, and she's taking care of her mom and her little sister, and she makes these journeys out into the market on the other side of the wall to get food to bring back to them. And she has to be careful because the police are out looking for them to take them to camp, since she's heard all kinds of stories of torture and death. And so she's terrified, but she has to really kind of watch it. So she's out there and she's like, this is like an animal in the wilderness with hunters. You kind of have to feel, and you have to not make the wrong kind of moves and stuff. So it starts, and like I said, it is a historical fiction. It is based on real stories. It has some fictional characters and some real characters. And but yeah, so this is what she starts at. She's just trying to take care of her family and feed them, and there's a lot of danger in that. And finally, when they crack down a lot more, and it's getting too dangerous for her to go out and do the smuggling stuff, she joins the resistance. So, in 1942, there was a resistance movement in the Warsaw Ghetto for 28 days. And at the end of that 28 days, they didn't win. So, real story. I'm like, okay, it's hard, it's harsh, but it's moving.
It's history.
And it's history, and it gives you real perspective of someone. So, all right, so let's talk about some other things that's going on. I've started some crafts again, and what I can do is we take appointments. You can call me, you can make an appointment. If you do happen to come in and there's no one doing a craft and it's during my appointment time, I'll let you, but it's only for a maximum of 2 people at a time. Right now this month, what we're doing is we're making our own mask with puffy paint. So, come in with an idea, or you can use one of my ideas, and you can choose your colors, use your puffy paint, and do one of those. The appointment will be for 1 hour. That's all the time you have, but you can come in multiple times. I know this is being uploaded at the end of the month, but my craft time is not just open to the craft that I'm actually doing that month. It's using it as a makerspace, so you can use my stuff to make something else if you want. So if you come in later in September, say, and you go like, but I wanted to make masks, you still can. As long as I still have the materials, you can still make those. But what we're going to be doing in September, and you're going to have to zoom in here on the camera. I guess I'm going to bring this out here. In September, coming up real soon, we're going to be design and make your own charm necklace or keychain. So I try to do ones that guys can do too.
Right.
So
guys
can
like
make
to do crafts.
Yeah, absolutely. But I try to get some items that guys might like. So yeah, you can do a keychain, or you can do one of the necklaces, or you can do it by yourself. So here we have some bottles with sand. I have lots of different colored sand, and you get to pick a charm to go with it. So and sometimes it's a charm, and sometimes you want to pick like lots of people like to do tags on them. So this one here says believe, and this one says protection, and so that's what we're going to do. And I have a ton of different charms, so you get to pick your own. And I just took that one off of there. Anyway, pick your own, and then we'll glue those tops together on the sand. Because we don't want the sand going everywhere. So anyway, that's going to be the September craft. You make your appointment, and you can come in and make those. And then you can look for books. And I have one more thing, and that is I still have 2 carts. Well, okay, about a cart and a half, 3 books. So these are books that I've weeded out, or there are some ARCs. Come on in and you can get a bag of books. All right.
And then I've got crafts going on during the month of September. I've divided the month up so that we're doing one craft beginning of the month, 1st through the 15th, and then the second craft from the 16th through the end of the month. For September, the 1st through the 15th, we're going to be doing magic scratch cards.
And these are make and takes, right?
These are make and takes,
all you
yeah,
gotta do is
grab and goes, make and takes, whatever you want to call them. The magic scratch cards are the first 15 days of the month. You'll basically get the black card and then the scratch tool to take. And then I might be putting like some little word puzzles or different coloring things in with that. And then for the second half of September, we're going to be doing a do-it-yourself pirate hat. To celebrate, I think the 19th is National Talk Like a Pirate.
Talk like a pirate
Day. Arr! What's a pirate's favorite letter? Arr! So the kids will get the pirate hat, and then there's stickers and stuff that they will get that they can decorate the hat with. And then October, November, December, we're going to follow the same pattern. First part of the month there'll be a craft. Second part of the month there'll be a different craft.
Yeah, mine is pretty much going to offer a craft during the month, but like I said, if you want to use my materials that I have, and I've been garnering a lot of new materials, so you can use that to make other things. If there's been other crafts that we've made here in the teen room that you remember, and you're like, hey, but I want to do this, yeah, I'll bring the stuff out, you can make it.
Right, and at this point our grab and goes have been just extremely popular.
They're flying off the shelves.
Flying off the shelves and out the door.
Well, good. And we're going to see you next month. Next month we'll tell you about some other new books and
Absolutely.
other programs that are going on. So.
Yep.
And don't forget, watch us on YouTube. And you know, we have other ones on YouTube. We have story times and some things like that.
Story times, I think
you
we're
can
still
always
up
go
on
back
YouTube.
and look at the other ones. So. Okay, bye.
See ya.